Hi, I'm Thomas Mucha, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to use generative AI tools when drafting text content. We will be writing a recommendation letter for our former colleague, and then we will draft a report for our management team, giving status update on recent developments. Let's start with probably the simplest and most straightforward way to use large language models and generative AI in business context. Most of you probably are familiar with this interface, but actually for this demonstration, I'm going to use Bard. Just a quick note about the tool I'm using. A few days after I recorded the video, Google rebranded Bard, and now it is called Gemini. Let's say a former colleague from the company we used to work for is now looking for a job, and he's asking us to write him a recommendation letter. We can use a generative model, in this case we will use Bard, to write this kind of recommendation letter for him. But we are not going to just prompt the model to write a generic recommendation letter. Rather, we want it to be already customized and very close to being ready just after the model finishes its output. How can we do that? Well, we need to guide the model with proper inputs in our prompt. Here you can see a prompt that I created specifically for this situation. So I'm introducing the overall idea that we are asking the model to write a recommendation letter for our former colleague. And we are asking the draft includes the following points, right? So we are saying specifically a couple things that we'd like to include in the recommendation letter, and then we are closing off by saying what kind of style the letter should be written in. So let's go ahead and copy these and plug it into Bard. All right, so we can paste it here. And now, as you can see, Bard created a draft of the recommendation letter. We can have a quick look at it. It looks like a properly formatted or structured recommendation letter. There are these placeholders where we need to fill in the missing details. And we can also see that each paragraph corresponds to the bullet point that we provided in the prompt. So it seems that Bard performed quite well on this task, so it looks like almost ready letter. But if we don't like this one, we can actually see here another draft that is ready for us. So we can just copy one of these and finalize it, and then the task of writing the recommendation letter for our former colleague is completed. All right, let's continue with another example. Let's say we are working in supply chain and our management team is asking for a brief status update or a report. And here is what we have in terms of the recent developments. So we have some extreme weather conditions, so we can summarize some of the key activities. Then recent events, so one of the logistics service providers or two logistics service providers that work for us are merging, so that might create some impact on supply chain. And then finally, there's a new purchase order approval tool being implemented. So we are asking to create a short report using casual business language. So let's see how that goes. I'll copy this prompt and move it across, this time to ChatGPT. All right, let's paste it in here and let's see what ChatGPT will generate for us. All right, let's have a brief look at the draft of the report. So we can see that the headings correspond to the main points that we outlined in the prompt, and the content of the paragraphs seems reasonable. But of course, this is a place where we might need to add in some details or correct some things that were essentially added as fillers by ChatGPT that not necessarily represent the situation at our company. But in any case, this looks like a good starting point for the report that we need to prepare for the management team. Manipulating textual data and generating text content is one of the core capabilities of large language model-based generative AI tools. I hope that with this video, I could give you at least few practical tips on how to use these tools in your daily work. And also, I hope that I could spark some ideas on how to boost your writing productivity.